Today we are going to discuss a mouth. Means we are going to start the digestion. First of all, the digestion starts from the mouth. So basically there is a difference between mouth and as well as oral cavity. Oral cavity and mouth both have a difference. Mouth is basically a space between the lips and the teeth. The outer space between the lips and the teeth is known as mouth. I'm writing here that a space between the lips and the teeth, that area is known as mouth. From where we intake food, that area is known as mouth. Now if we talk about oral cavity, that what is oral cavity? Oral cavity is basically a area that starts after the teeth, that room type structure. When we open our mouth, that is a room type structure that has a walls as well as a floor, that is known as oral cavity. So we can write here the area where the mouth opens, that wide space area is known as oral cavity, and it is formed by the upper oral cavity is formed by the upper and lower jaw. The structure of oral cavity, if we see, it has a arched roof. Our mouth has our oral cavity. In our oral cavity it has a arched roof that is made up of a bony structure that is known as a palate. Basically palate is of two types, hard palate and soft palate. Hard palate is basically present on the upper side and if we talk about the soft palate is basically present where uvula is present. We'll talk about that where is uvula and what is uvula. So if where uvula is present, that is soft palate. So if we see, hard palate is basically where the roof is where the roof is present, means arched roof is present, that is known as that is known as hard palate. And where the uvula is present, uvula is the when we open our mouth, that a bell, like we say that there is a uvula. Here it is visible, it is uvula, and that is basically a uvula is basically a fleshy structure, and the platoglossal arc is responsible for it to help and provide the support to uvula. So uvula is basically uvula moves so we can easily swallow our food. So hard palate is basically present on the roof of the oral cavity, and soft palate is present where uvula is present, that is soft palate where uvula is present, that is a soft palate. If we come down, there is a floor that is called tongue. Here it's visible, that is a floor that is known as tongue, and upper and lower jaw are here the upper jaw and the lower jaw. Upper jaw is basically fixed, it cannot move, and the lower jaw can easily move. So that is all the structure of oral cavity. If we talk about the down of the tongue, the vestibule is present. Vestibule is present basically that secretes from the parotid salivary glands, that basically provide a support to the tongue. Oral cavity is basically lined with the non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelial cells. Basically hard palate is hard because of the maxillary, two bones are present here in the hard palate, that is maxillary bone, as well as the palatine bone. These bones are present, so that is why that hard palate is hard. Soft palate is soft because the no bone is present in it, and it has basically cartilages. That is why these are cartilages are soft than bones. So no bone is present in it, only the cartilages are present. That is why it is a soft palate, and that is a hard palate.